This is a class of adult immigrants, mostly refugees from Southeast Asia and Africa. So when they come in, I would have this prompt on the board. What skills did you need to learn when you arrived in the U.S.? Good morning, students. I hope you had a good weekend and you enjoyed the warm weather we're having in February. Is this your first winter here? Did you think it would be this warm? Nope, you are right. It is usually very cold. This winter is unusual. Remember, un-U-N means not usual. So this winter is unusual, but we are liking it. Let's look at the question on the board and read it together. What skills did you need to learn when you arrived in the U.S.? Again, what skills did you need to learn when you arrived in the U.S.? Now, you without me. Very good, very good, nice. Who can tell me what this means? Yes, pawa. Right, it means you need to learn how to dress a little differently. That's a good example. Anybody else? Tara. Yes, it means you need to learn to say, "Excuse me, can you help me?" Another good example. So, skills are things you need to know how to do, like cooking, or reading, or asking people for help. Good. Right now, I want you to work with your partner and talk about this question. Tell your partner one or two things you needed to learn when you arrived in the United States. And then we will talk together. So I would circulate and I'd listen but not comment. Good conversation, students. What did you talk about? Who wants to name one skill you talked about? Mutha? Yes. Not standing too close to people. In the United States, unless people are family or very close friends, we often do not touch each other, except maybe to shake hands or a quick hug when we see someone we have not seen in a long time. Who else? Perna. Right. Be on time. Oh, I am sorry to hear you got in trouble at work because you kept coming in late. In the United States, we expect people to arrive at work and school on time. Many of you came to class late in September. Now you are coming on time. You are learning this skill. How about one more? Nikki, people don't always want to talk. Just say hello? When? Yes, when you are walking down the street. That is true. And it is different in different parts of the country. Some places in the country, people want to talk to you when they say hello. Here, no. Just want to say hello and keep walking. I remember last week when we talked about riding the bus, some of you were surprised by how quiet it is on the bus here. People don't want to talk. Right. Good. Okay, these are excellent examples, and they are a few of the things we will talk about today. Today, we are going to practice listening and speaking. We will listen to 7 minutes from a radio program. The radio program is called Immigrants Learn New Customs in New Lands. Can you say it with me? Immigrants learn new customs in new lands. Good. Now you. Nice. I heard that T in immigrants. Good. Okay. We will listen to it a few times. At the end of class, you will be able to name 5 things immigrants need to know about living in the U.S. And we are going to remember, last week we studied final T sounds on words. I will be listening to hear if you are pronouncing those words, like immigrant, correctly. We will listen right now. So this is the time just to listen. No note-taking. Don't try to memorize things. After we listen, we will talk about 3 main ideas that we hear. We've been working on main ideas, you know, the big ideas. Remember when you go home at the end of the day and your children ask you, what did you learn in school today? These are the things you would tell them, the big ideas. Later, we will listen again for specific things. So, pencils down and relax. Let's take a big breath together. Nice. Okay, listen for 3 main ideas. And then, of course, I would play the audio clip. So, once it's over, we will listen to it again in a few minutes, but right now, I would like to know if we can name 3 main ideas. Who wants to tell us one? And I would write them on the board. Renan. Yes, immigrants think things will be a certain way when they come here. Can you give me an example? You thought everyone in America was rich. Who else thought that? Oh, everybody thought everyone in America was rich. Okay, is that true? No. Many people are poor here. Okay, so now we have 2 things. 1, immigrants expect things to be a certain way, and 2, it might not be that way. Can anybody name the 3rd big idea that we listened to? I can help you. Okay, the 3rd big idea is that there are 5 things to know about living in a new country. Okay, and those are the things that we will talk about when we listen again. So, remember I said we would practice final consonants, our final T sound? All right, I am going to write 2 words on the board that end in T, and I would like to hear you say them. First one, immigrant. And of course I would write that on the board. Can I hear you say that? Immigrant. 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 Good. Very good. Immigrant. Okay. Second one, polite. Polite. What is polite? Yes, to be nice. Polite. Can I hear polite? Good. Polite. Okay, that's very nice. You're doing well with your final T's. Before we listen again, are there any questions? Don, you heard something about rules. I did too. The speaker talked about unwritten rules. Let's figure out what that means. So we know what rules are, right? The things you have to do. We know what written means, written down, okay? Written down rules. Do you remember about un at the beginning of a word? Unusual, unwritten? Yes, it means not. Very good. So unwritten rules, what do you think? Who can say? Oh, many of you can say. Okay, rules that are not written down. Very good. Very good. And they are the hardest ones to know, right? Okay. Some of the things that you named earlier are unwritten rules, like not standing too close to other people. That is an unwritten rule. Nobody tells you that. You have to figure it out. Okay? So let's listen again and see if we can hear those 5 unwritten rules. I will give you a worksheet with some blanks on it. As you listen, try to fill in the missing words. Do not worry if you miss some. It is okay. Afterwards, we will work in your small group and make the whole list. Are you ready?